Good evening everyone and welcome to another stream. Well, I say another, it's been a while since I've actually streamed a tournament. Last time is actually in Minsk at the Twister Cup, but this is something quite different altogether. We are going to be streaming a tournament for the Czech and Slovakian community. So tonight we have the semi-finals, so that is two matchups of best of 9. And tomorrow we have the same thing, but then for third place, and after that the grand final. So should be great fun. In the meantime, I'm waiting for YouTube to catch up with me, which would be very helpful. There is a 5-minute delay on this stream, and that is by request of the organizer of this tournament, so that people can't see each other's lineup, and that makes it pretty safe. So in the meantime, I'm waiting for YouTube to like my stream enough to let me start it. But because there's a delay, you're probably not going to be bothered by that. You might just have a little bit of less countdown time, basically. So we are now officially live. That means that I'm going to have to pause the stream when it starts, which is like 20 seconds from now. For you guys, that is on YouTube, because I want to keep an eye on the chat. And in order to do that, I need to pause the stream on YouTube so that I can keep watching the chat while focusing on the actual tournament and the game. So, as you can see, I am in a room. We are waiting for CZ&SK versus Ready to Win. I probably should check Predators. That would sound logical. I'm actually not sure what the clan tag stands for. But yeah, either way, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be epic. I love tournament matches. That wasn't like a secret or anything, so I'm hoping that you guys will enjoy it too. This contest is getting some prizes from Wargaming, but there's also a little bit of a sponsor that is funding. Thank you, the prizes, and I kind of hope that we will see more tournaments like this. No, Mac, you are not the only Dutch guy. Well, at least maybe the only Dutch guy, but I am Dutch as well. But yeah, I will do my best to answer questions in the chat, but know that because of the 5-minute delay, that there's a very good chance that you will hear the reply 5 minutes later. Yes, anyone can test, but there are very strict reasons for it, and basically it's Wargaming that decides who gets to test and who doesn't. So basically, if you want to test, you have to ask Wargaming for it. So in a few minutes we are going to go into the battles, and like I said, it is a best of 9 from what I've understood. And I love that people are picking tier 1s and tier 2s to go into battle. I have a feeling that that is not what they're gonna end up with when we actually start the battle. So hello everyone that is tuning in. For those that are just starting, I am, well, actually the preview of the stream kind of gave it away, didn't it? We are streaming a Czech tournament. So actually let me just switch to this view, so then you see what I see in the game. The preview kind of showed it. We are streaming a Czech and Slovakian tournament. I can't really speak any Czech. I think I know Dobrý den, which basically is like good morning, good day. And I know Dobrý noche, which is good night, but that's about where it ends. This was when I was, how old was I? I was 7 or 8 or something, I think. Maybe a little bit older. But anyway, we were in the Czech Republic on vacation, and we stayed at a house, and the owner of the house taught me a few words. I also speak a little bit French, but yes, this is not a French tournament, so let's avoid doing that. So now we see that people are steadily readying up. I actually am going to just quickly check. Oh god, I seriously can't figure out this whole new thingy. I have no idea how to go to clans. So I'm just going to quickly look that up on Blitz instead, which is actually working a lot better for me. Because that actually does what I wanted to. Because I think it's Czech Predators, because that would make sense. Come on. Yes, Jack Predators. Ha, I remembered right. And they are up against Ready to Win. And for a random map, which I quite like, Supremacy Mode, mind, we are going with 1, 2 Foshes, 1, 2, 3 215Bs, and T2 T22 mediums. And that's actually quite fun because that is like totally new meta. That's a team that's consisting completely of. It's consisting entirely of the new meta, which is something that I find quite sad. Not necessarily that they use it, by the way, because I understand, but it's the meta right now is so predictable because you need to have a team that has these tanks in order to work. So I find it sad that that is needed, that you are limited that way, that these tanks are standing out so much in strength and abilities that you can't really choose anything else. But now they're changing it all together. That could be fun. I have no idea, by the way, if there's any special rules to this. I haven't been told. I've just been asked to stream and to be here online, so that's what I'm doing. So should be fun. Someone asked if the ravioli is any good. Yes, the ravioli is okay. It's not the best tank. I personally don't like it much. Yes, she does, but delay is so slow. Replies, just saying that in the chat. By the time you hear it, you know just how much delay is. So we are just waiting for the teams to be ready so that we can go in. Lots of PC players. Pretty much both teams literally only have one touch player. That's interesting because PC players can't join the whole the Twister season, basically, because PC players are not able to go to the offline. And I find that I understand it because it's kind of hard to drag your whole PC setup somewhere. But at the same time, it would be nice if it was more inclusive and allow all of them. So now it is ready to win. That is almost ready. And Jack Predators, that is very not ready. It is 8:02, so we should have technically already begun. But yeah. We just have to wait a little bit longer, I think. If all else fails, I can ask Happy Juice, who has been talking to me on Discord about the whole thing. What is up and when we are beginning. But we'll see. Again, Team Stanley getting ready. Well, at least one of them is. And Toast is one of my fellow moderators on the big server, actually. Very curious to see him play. Haven't seen him play yet. I don't think I've ever run into him. But he's a really nice guy. And this is the only downside of not having the strict tournament rules from Wargaming. Anything and everything can still happen. And you don't know when you're actually going to go in. I actually answered that question already, Damraf. Wargaming decides who to test at the moment. Those are basically the clans, or certain clans at least, that are testing. And you can ask Wargaming, but it's up to them. People still arriving. I wonder if they're allowing any. No, the spectators are set on both sides. And I think that is mainly just basically means that the teams themselves don't have any spectators. Can you hear me alright, by the way? Music not too loud and all of that. Would be nice to know. And they're changing tanks back again. And we have ready to win now, already in 1, 2, 3 215Bs, 2 Foshes, and T22 medium and in E50M versus 2 Foshes, 2 T22 mediums, and 3 215Bs. And let's see if we are actually going into the battle now. Everyone is ready. We are rearing to go. Actually going to turn down your music just a little bit just to be safe. I've not seen that many Czech clans about. Do you know Hapki, of course? That is one. Well, I've seen them in random battles, I mean, but not in like tournaments like this. I kind of like it when people have national tournament series like this, because it makes it interesting. And here we go. The only non-new meta tank is the E50M, and that is still a very, very strong tank. And we are hitching a ride with Donkey. So let's see where they go and what they do with this. I'm actually going to go into free camera and have a look. And we see Ready to Win focusing a bit on both sides, whereas Czech Predators is focusing entirely on the desert side. And Toes potentially in a very difficult position, though it is a position that I very much like as well. It does have its risks. And we see the first damage being done. And it's not even in Antos. He is lining them up as they cross, and they now know that there are 4 players in the corner there. The 3 in the middle have been spotted as well. And now Ready to Win kind of has to pull back to save their Antos. Or their Dith, I'm not gonna bother saying the whole name. Because right now he's doing a good job, because he's making... Okay, now he's using one of them as cover basically. And we see that Ready to Win is moving, and they need to focus fire. They need to make sure that he basically dies at least before Death does. But there he goes. Force is almost gone as well. There goes the second one. Both teams have lost 2 guns right now, and basically we are entering a bit of a clusterfuck right now. Force almost dead. And there he goes. There we go. Both teams lost 3 guns, but HP wise it's relatively close, about 1.5k. Thing is that when you have the low ground, that is a definite disadvantage, but that was a very nice bounce by Perellen. So let's see. Perellen now in trouble, but Stevie dies before he can take him out. 3 versus 3, but Czech Predators have a slight disadvantage. They need to take out the Force though before he can do massive damage, and he is almost reloaded. They are moving in. They want Aspirin. He does get a shot into Aspirin. And now basically the Forces are not really protecting each other, more getting in each other's way. There goes one Force. Icky has moved back a little bit. That is a ram that does not even kill him. He does die, but now it's a T-22 and an 215B versus one lone T-22. Plenty of time, but Antos needs to be careful. They need to move in together. And Icky is doing the best job that he can, but he will get flanked now. And even if he does get shots in, he will get crossfired. And that will be the end of Icky. And the first game is for Ready to Win. I wish that these kind of things would go smoother, because I can't actually I can. Wow. And look at the difference in damage. It's only 3.5k, which isn't that bit and that much, to be fair. But nice carries by Icky and by Antos and Aspirin and Imodium as well, to be fair. Good game from both sides. I've actually no idea if this is like a... Well, they don't know. They have a random map, so they kind of need to use a universal setup that works for most. But now they are switching to an actual map. So we are going to Winter Malinovka now. I actually like the idea of random maps. I was planning to have a little bit of a tournament. But I just haven't had time to execute it. So I'm going to try and see what I can do in January about it. Players are being switched out. So now we just have to wait for it all to start again. Winter Malinovka, not one of my favorite maps, to be fair. It is a map with 3 supremacy bases, 1 down below and 2 up above. All bases have quite a few lines of fire into it. Basically, this appears to be a map where if you go the wrong way with part of your team and you meet the enemy team, you're in lots and lots of trouble. So, let's see what happens. Both teams are almost ready. And then we can see what happens in the second match. We see, again, a similar setup, but now oh, this is nice, actually. Czech Predators is tagging 2 forces, 2 215Bs, an STB, which I love, an E5, which I used to love, and a Batchat, which is still just epic. It's a little monster. And they're going to go up against an E50M, 1 215B, with force T22, 2 E3s, and 2 113s. So let's see what happens with this one. This is a lovely little camo for this lovely little tank. Absolutely adore it. The tank as well as the camo, to be fair. So let's see what happens. We see that Czech Predators is splitting up a little bit. 1 force going towards the B area. But a bit switching around. People already getting spots in. Force has been spotted. Force is taking a big hit there. And we see the 113s going down. Barallen taking a hit. No one has even tried for the bases yet. The 113 is now in a position that is not a position that I would want to be in. Because it basically means that you're stuck. Or you have to extend yourself a lot. That was a lovely bounce though. And the STB has friends. And that is potentially a very bad thing for the 113, because they do have the rate of fire, but versus multiple enemies that can, oof, that is some nice cover fire there. And he is almost gone, that STB, but their friends are arriving and they can take in out way too many shots before Tomai is actually dead. And we see now the 113s just getting eaten up by the 215Bs. The force now driving in, getting a massive hit there, only taking a small hit in turn. And people are dying basically for peeking out too far, and at this stage Ready to Win has lost a ton of HP. Both teams have lost a tank, but all the same, there he goes, Imodium. Of course that was gonna happen. We have Ibuprofen almost gone. And I have a feeling that, oh, it's not even a Batchat that takes him out, because he's still alive, but the 113 is gone. And there goes Ibuprofen, the Batchat again. And there goes the Force, but overall, this is definitely not Ready to Win's game. They still have 3 guns, but N-Toast is almost gone. He is gone. And now there's only Diff that is left. And he can't possibly go up against 4 tanks like this. And there he goes. And the second match is for Czech Predators. That was a very quick brawl, basically just Ready to Win overextending, going out into the open too much and just losing too much HP too early, and those 2 113s in positions where I would not want to be found dead, because basically when you go there, that is generally what's going to happen, you're going to be dead. So that was their big mistake, to be fair, and Czech Predators capitalized on that. The Batchat in the middle getting 3 kill shots right after each other. I think it was 3, but yeah, killing tanks left and right. So now the spawns are being switched. We're going to Winter Malinovka again. And we see 2 215Bs, a Batchat, a Fortune IS-4, 2 T22 mediums versus an E50M, a 215B, an IS-4. And then I lost track. An E3, a T22, and 2 113s again. The 113s, to be fair, they're good tanks. They were the tank in Twisted last year, but this is not last year anymore, and they are still nice. They have a good rate of fire, but they are tricky. Error on Blitz, spotting in the bushes, using his excellent camouflage to not get spotted there, but the T22s do get spotting crossing over. That was a massive hit into Barallen. Prevalent seems to get hit early on quite a bit. But he takes a little bit more damage before they are safe. Entos turning around, giving a little bit of return fire. Oh, he is not lucky. Prevalent is not a happy bunny there. Base B has been capped, base A is being capped. The 113s again in this position, but now on the other side. Again, that is not a position you want to be found in because you're stuck there, you can't get out. And those T-22s have all the cover in the world, and their T-22s, for that matter. They do take a bit of a hit there, but it's only because they're overextending by choice. The 113s are literally stuck there, they can't do anything. They don't have any targets, they can't get any shots in. Entos at the back. IS-4 now getting shots in the side. The 215Bs side scraping. Getting some nice hits in. Crossfire all around. Prevalent's still alive, but don't ask how. And I think he's now being sent to base C, because that would make sense. IS-4 taking a more forward position, but that also means that he's not really covering his teammates, who are just steadily getting a shot from either which way, regardless of which way they turn. And this is actually good to see, because look at that crossfire. The E3 getting shots from the Black Chat if he tried to shoot the 215Bs. Base C now being capped, but the HP difference is well over 5,000 now. And that is... oof, there goes a gun. And the 113s have less cover now. The IS-4 is gone. The E3, it has barely any health left. And he bounces that one. The 113s moving in. T-22s peeking out. But it is Tomai that takes him out. There goes the E3. And now we only have Imodium, Entos, and a very unhealthy looking Prevalent. Entos moving in, pretty much effectively going YOLO against the two of his own making. He's not going to survive this. And there he goes. And the match is for ready to win. And they didn't lose anyone in that match. It was a 7-0. Both teams having one that did 0 damage. Don't see that often in tournament battles, but that's the thing. The position that those 113s were in random battles, it could potentially work because your enemy team tends to be a level of kind of potato. But in here, you have people that are seasoned players that are coordinating on Discord generally. And that just does not go well. So basically, yeah, that was... Again, this is not a position that I would ever send my tanks to. And I think that they'll be scratching their heads and agreeing with me now. So let's see what's going to happen next. It is now 2-1 for Czech Predators. And we are moving on to Himmelsdorf, which means very, very different tanks. And we see the Czech Predators taking an E5, potentially. 3 IS-4s, or maybe not. Tanks are still being changed around. I'm basically not looking at the chat. Sorry, because I can't guarantee what's being said in there, so I'm not going to risk it. So we have ready to win, ready with 3 215Bs, a Foch, a T-22 medium, an IS-4, and a VK. Versus an E5, 2 IS-4s, 2 T-22 mediums, a Foch, and an E3. Interesting lineup for Himmelsdorf. I would expect more tanks like Meist and, well, VKs to be fair, but that does not really fit the new meta. At the same time, it looks like Czech Predators has a much more mobile lineup than Ready to Win has. So let's see what is going to happen now. This as a map is by far not my favorite map, but it does make for interesting tournament matches. T-22s of course making a move. going towards base A, which is their strong side. And Toast being basically spotted already. He has two 215Bs behind him, but that's not going to give him the base. And soon, Czech Predators will have 2 bases. And they will have a point advantage, even though Red to Win is now capturing a base as well. A second base, I mean. E3 being spotted. Donkey trying to spot, but basically all of Ready to Win is pulling back. But they kind of have to make a move. They're about, what is it, 30-ish points behind? Which means that they have to kill the tank in order to take the point advantage back. Or they have to go stand in one of their bases. And you can see that Czech Predators is actually making a sort of line. They're just holding. They're letting them go in. Except for the Forge that is now a bit overextended potentially. Depending on what Ready to Win is going to do. And having decided that he is pulling back nicely. Which is a good call. He does get damaged a little bit there and does no damage in return. And we see that now Ready to Win is moving in. The Forge only has 1 shot in left. But now, oof, they are caught and they may do damage. But Freddy is not going to live long enough. And now it will be the E5 that is going to be next. As long as they have the focus fire, Imodium is not going to survive this either. And I thought that Ready to Win would capitalize on this more than leaving it. But it looks more like that it worked as a trap, because right now the HP difference is very little. Even though one team has lost 2. Oof! Look at E3 being eaten up though, but this Forge that dies first. And now he's just wanting to survive for long enough, but he does not. And it's now 4 versus 4, but HP wise the Czech Predators have an advantage. And wisely Aspirin is standing in the middle. They are focusing on Tomai. And they want him out of the way. And there he goes, but Ibuprofen as well. It is now 3 versus 3. And Paralen in a disadvantaged position. Big hit there. They need to focus fire. They're focusing on the T-22 first. Wanting him out of the way. And there he goes. And now the other T-22 is next in line. Where the VK is occupying the IS-4. Which is a very good call, because the VK is bouncy. It is heavy. It is bouncy. And there he goes. And now it's the VK versus the IS-4 along with the 215B. The IS-4 are pulling back as the FV comes in. VK not looking too healthy. But he does back a wall up. I'm sorry. I have an itch in my throat that is not really working with me. And now he wants that VK, but they both have to be careful. They're rear-mounted turreted. They do have the side-scraping advantage. But they have to be careful. They have to coordinate together. The FV moving in, taking a shot. The VK not capitalizing on that. Moving too slowly, too little, too late. But they should have him. They are at 940 points. Ready to Win has this match regardless of what happens now. So as long as they just survive, it is their game. So them taking a very leisurely position. Even going as far as to HE the IS-4 is just fine. And that bounce though. Sorry. Vev, you're free to have your own opinion. But you can say that a lot nicer than you are doing. So just play nice, have some respect. So now it's 2 versus 2. We still have 5 minutes left to go of this best of 9. I'm going to take a bit of a drink because this is not fun. There we go. Let's hope that fixes things. And here we go. We are ready for the second match on Himmeldorf with 5 215Bs and 2 Foshes. Versus 3 215Bs, a Fosh, an E3, a T22 medium, and IS4 again. And this could potentially be a very dangerous move. It could work out fantastically for Czech Predators. But taking so many tanks of the same kind, the thing is that you take all their strengths, but you also take all their weaknesses. And that is the downside of using this many of the same tanks in the same lineup. They're all focusing on the A side. They're not going for a cap. And Toast capping base B. They don't care. They're all heading towards base A. The Force is going around the back. I think they want to catch those. They want to catch Ready to Win unaware. But the fact that they're not capping any bases, it's going to be a dead giveaway for Ready to Win. Especially now that Imodium has been spotted and does not take any damage for it. They know that they are here. All the 215Bs have been spotted, except for the Forces are the only ones unspotted on Czech Predator's team. And Ricochet is taking a little bit of damage. And now basically what they need to do is just dig in, let them come. And we see some damage happening all around. Imodium being the preferred target for Czech Predators. He can't really pull back, he's in a terrible position there, but he can't really get out. T22 arriving at the back. And we see Imodium being focused on so much, but Tomai now in big trouble. Base A being captured. Imodium not gonna survive this one. But he's leaving a corpse in a advantageous position. Tomai being ignored. Basically right now, Czech Predators have way too many low HP targets. And they're not killing them off. Because as long as you keep the guns, they're still a threat. You have to be careful, you have to take them out. There we go. Big hits happening. Low HP targets being ignored. And this is basically the... They should have this. Ready to Win should have this game. But because of they leave too many people alive. And they need to fire at the same targets. They're not doing that. And so Antos is gone. Donkey is reloading, but he's almost reloaded. And now it's only Ibuprofen that gets forced. And that's the end of that. This could have gone either way. But in this case, Ready to Win made the mistake of leaving too many low HP targets. They were not focus firing. Or at least not focus firing enough. And thus the game went to Czech Predators. But again, there's no pressure as of yet. Plenty of time still, because we still have like 4 matches left to go. As a streamer, I do love tiebreakers. As a player, they're not that much fun. So let's see what is going to happen next. We are moving, I think, to a next map. That would make sense, but which one? But in the meantime, let me make a shameless plug for myself, by the way. I am hosting a contest series in December, the whole of December. That is called the 10 Years of Christmas. And I have posted, there's topics on all the local forums. And there's links to it on my Discord server as well. Basically, in every tier there's a competition and you can win prizes. So check it out. Maybe join in. You have every entry has to be from December, but you have the whole of December to get your entries. So we are moving to Canal for the 6th match of this best of 9. And we see a very different lineup appearing on both sides. We see lots of Batchats appearing on Ready to Win side. 3 of them to be exact, and the 2 268s. And let's see what the last tanks are going to be. An IS-4 and another IS-4. Potentially one Batchat is changing, but they're going to go up against one Fosh, potentially 4 215Bs, another Fosh, and a Grill. I think that on this map the Batchats would have the advantage, but the thing is that they need to avoid getting shot, and that can be quite tricky. But there's lots of nooks and crannies, there's lots of places to dip, and it will be very hard for those TDs to do their work unless the Batchats overextend themselves. So here we go, everyone is ready, only we miss a player on, there we go. Triple Batchat is a big risk, because again, the more tanks you take of the same type, the more you also take all the weaknesses. But Batchats can work wonders on this map, and it is one of my favorite maps because it's one of the bigger maps. So let's see what happens this time. Where they're gonna go. What they're gonna do. FV's moving towards base B and potentially base A. The Batchats, of course, except for one, heading towards base D. Uncontested. The IS-4 going to take base C. And we have the 2 and 5Bs that are pushing quite aggressively. Wanted to decap C, but not getting away with it. One Batchat already being eaten up alive. And that's actually... where are you? There you are. Having very little health left, but oof, he survives. Paradan having been spotted. And even though they have 2 bases, it's basically Czech Predators that has now map dominance, and they need to be careful to hold it. But the thing is that, again, Ready to Win has the advantage. It will be Czech Predators that has to make a move. If they'd be able to take out that lone little Batchat that has very little HP left, it would be different. A blind shot into the bush, but does actually hit. Blind shots being fired. And they're still blind firing that bush. Which I actually quite like. They realize where the campers must be. Even though they're not right anymore. And Toast carefully sort of going back in position. Blind shots happening on both sides. And he's just emptying a clip. This is basically the battle of the blind shots. But they don't actually hit a target. Only Tomai is spotted. I quite like this though. It kind of shows that people are anticipating where people must be. We have the Grill that is hiding behind a giant rock. He doesn't need to take a risk. He has 2 Fushes in front of him. They are shooting that corner. He can probably hear that. So he knows not to get from behind the rock. Again, battle of the blind shots. Lots of blind shots happening everywhere. No one actually getting hit. This is potentially the weirdest match I've ever seen. Because of that. I don't think I've ever seen a match with this much, this many shots and this little HP being taken. We are at 700 something points for both teams. Ready to Win has the advantage as long as Aspirin can keep alive. They could potentially take this home if they only play carefully. I have no idea what that means. But more blind shots happening. We are at 800 points. And it will be up to Czech Predators to make a move. The question is, will they? Because they seem very content to play where they are. $850. They need to do something. They can't just stay where they are. And just Aspirin just needs to stay alive. They all need to stay alive, but Aspirin a little bit more so because he's the weakest link here, to be fair. He's a one-shot for everyone. And now Jack Predators is making a bit more of a move. And Toast immediately getting shot back. They don't need to take this risk. They have to be careful. Just pull back. Don't take the risk. If you die, Peralin, there, you're costing your team the game. They are capping... Ooh, they are capping their base, though. And Tomai goes, and then it's actually the game for... People are still dying, mind. So that's why the game is not officially ended yet. But here we go. That was one of the slowest games ever. Let's see if we can actually see that. 10 shots, only 3 hits. 10 shots, only 2 hits. 9 shots, 4 hits. 9 shots, 2 hits. 5 shots, 3 hits. He actually didn't miss that much. 12 shots, 1 hit. And 9 shots, 2 hits. That kind of goes to show what I mean, though. So many blind shots. And that's just one side. The other side would have been similar. But yeah, that's just something I find quite funny. So now it's 3-3. So it's 6 battles that we've had. We have 3 battles left to go for this best of 9. I like that it's getting quite close, to be fair. That's always just more fun. I'm streaming on PC, mind, but that is all the thing, everything to do. Here we go, actually. Bat Chat, E50M, 4 Grill, IS4 and 2 E5s versus 3 AMX 50Bs, 2 Bat Chats, a Grill, and an E something. An E5, there we go. So let's see what happens this time, if we're gonna have a similar slow gameplay. Or if stuff is going to happen. Those AMX 50Bs kind of promise that stuff will happen. Oh, Tomai. Already losing tons and tons of HP. This early in the game. And there he goes. What the hell, guys? That is what happens when you have 3 AMXs that are just clipping. And even though they haven't gotten their second base yet, they are now. But they already took a gun out, and so they have a 60-point advantage. That is just... That is evil. With the Bat Chats in spotting positions. AMX 50B taking different positions. Pervalen being a little bit too forwards, a little bit less careful. But going into a nice little bush. Tomka having spotted. We hear lots of fire, but no damage being done anywhere. Grill in the corner. He does need to be careful with all those blind shots that Jack Practice is happy to do. So let's see what's going to happen. Clips at the ready. Blind shot happening, but not going into the grill. Oof. That was a blind shot into Celescon. And it was big and it hit. And thus they're shooting back. But again, the pressure is on... No one there either, Tomka. The pressure is on Jack Predators to do something. And we see Donkey moving up. The Force taking a different position, using a different bush. But there's actually no one there to shoot. So it doesn't really matter which side he's on. More shots happening, no damage done. No one there either. That's the thing though, you can do this. And take another shot like that. And then pull back. And reload. Sorry. That was the grill that actually was just like, yeah, I'm gonna shoot back. And he actually does damage. But now they know that there's someone there and they have to be careful about that. So you see that he has actually moved a little bit. And the Foch is shooting again. But he's more backward. He's more to the back now. And being more careful. Reloading his clip, going again to the other side. But we are nearing 800 points again. No one has died. Well, actually no, Tamaya has died, sorry. And I think that Ready to Win actually played this very, very cleverly. We now see that they are moving in. The Batchat has spotted them. Nice bounce by Tomka. And Toast has to be careful. He shouldn't be there. They just need to take out one tank. Dumisk moving in. I think Dumisk is now getting shot by the Batchat and the AMX. And there he goes. And that's the second tank that is gone. Donkey pushing in too far. He is capping base B because he's not going to survive this. There he goes. And the game is for Ready to Win. I have to say, brilliantly played. Those AMXs can be such a weakness. But in this case, it worked out beautifully because they took out Tomai so early in the game. He did not stand a chance at all. Oh, it's a best of 7 then. I thought it was best of 9. Because basically the whole team has just left. So, yeah. Okay, best of 7. I thought it was best of 9. Maybe I've been completely wrong about that. Let me just check my schedule. A little bit of... Let me see. I've had very, very little... No, best of 9 I've been told. So, I'm not sure why they're quitting at 7, but whatever floats their boat. Just wondered for a moment if I was going mad. So now we should get Argo versus Sexy Bonbons. I'm not making this up, that is their team name. Oh my god. Uphill, you actually don't know who's watching your stream. You generally don't. Except for when they talk in the chat, because then you know they're watching then. So let's see. I think we're gonna stay in the room. Not quite sure, but that would make sense. And no, I'm very Dutch, I'm not British. Hey, Shocky. And hello everyone else, by the way. This is basically, if you want to do a community tournament these days, you can ask Wargaming for prizes. Wargaming generally says yes, as long as you have someone to stream it. The prices aren't like phenomenal, but still it's nice and it's a little bit of an incentive for people to join. Thing is though, that communication is everything. This seems to be going quite well. I have no idea how the communication is within these clans that have participated. But I was asked to stream 2 best of 9s today and tomorrow, which by all means I'm fine with. Originally it would start at 7 PM and then later it was changed to 8 PM, which is also fine, I can do that. But I'm kind of curious to the teams disappearing. So now I just have to wait. Is there anything here? I have no idea. I think that was still them talking about the maps. But yes, we are going to Sexy Bonbons versus Argo. And I have a feeling that they will be arriving in maybe 15 minutes. Not sure if they were already on standby or not. But yeah, in the meantime, be sure to check out the 10 Years of Christmas thing that I've got going on starting tomorrow. And there is the first sexy bonbon. See, this is a name. There are some clan names that I can't take seriously. This is one of them, but it is quite funny. Because it kind of like, it reminds me of what lovers would call each other. Like, oh, you sexy bonbon you, that kind of thing. And now both teams are already coming in, so this is actually going very smoothly, so I have to give them massive credit for that. We have not had to wait long at all to get into the matches and all of that. So that is brilliant, and I compliment them on that. So I think both times we start on one random map, and after that it just goes up and up. So now we just have to wait until the teams are fully there. 8 hours arriving, potentially to be an umpire or as a spectator, I'm not sure. And we see lots of T22 mediums arriving on the other side. Again, by the way, there's a 5-minute delay on this thing. So everything that I say you hear 5 minutes after I said it. That's also why responding to things in the chat can be quite useless that way. So let's just wait. Sexy bonbons are complete. Argo's still missing some people. I would actually so much like to see tactics like what we saw with the AMXs in the high levels. But the thing is that because they're such a risk to take so many tanks of the same type, very few people do this. But in this case, Ready to Win just read Czech Predators so well. Because Czech Predators has been very careful. They've just been waiting, basically, biding their time before they do anything. And sometimes they don't. And that really works out for Ready to Win. So let's see what's going to happen next. We still miss one Argo player. See if we can follow any of the chat. Lots of hellos and good lucks, which is nice. To on this side, Dakudas, who we have seen in the Twister Cup, the online tournament. Epic player. Ada is actually going to play for Argo. I still find the whole just sexy bonbons. I can't get over that. So let's see what's going to happen next in this. I'm going to assume best of 7 then. It's just a bit weird. Yeah, never mind that, actually. And then tomorrow we have the battle for the 3rd place first. And after that we have the grand finals. And by all means, I feel that more little tournaments like this should get organized. Whether it's national or international. Oh, Shaka. Shaka part of this. That's good to know. Shaka used to be in lookup with me way back when. Nice guy. Hello, France. No, that's not your name, I know. But hello. And hello, of course, Kuga. And now we have sexy bonbons that are all ready with the general new meta setup. 2 Foshes, 2 TTP20, 2 mediums and 3 215Bs. And they're going to go up against a very different kind of lineup. Let's see if it works. Let's see. E50M, Chieftain MK6, an STB, a 215B, a 268, and 2 IS4s. That is a very interesting lineup. Not a lineup that I would expect. But that kind of makes me excited though. Because like I said, the new meta tanks are very strong for a reason. But they do have a number of weaknesses. So let's see. Everyone is ready. We are going for a random map. And that's actually the funniest, because apparently they are now... this is a lineup that Argo is choosing for a random map. So they feel that this could potentially work on any map. I like that. Everyone is ready. Not sure why we're not going yet. So let's see. Let's go, guys. Oh, they listened. And we are appearing on Black Goldfield. And let's see. Sexy bonbons. Seriously, I'm never gonna let that go. 205Bs heading towards the C area using their speed boost. Followed by the Foshers and the T22s. They're all going into one direction. And that could be potentially very, very harmful for the Chieftain and the IS4 for going into the middle. And Yik, that is... or Yich. I have no idea how you pronounce that. That is all alone there. One of the 215Bs has been spotted and we see the IS4 immediately pulling back, which is a very, very smart move. Because you don't want to be caught on alone where he is. And they are capping base B, they're capping base A. Barbie is getting shot at, losing a bit more HP. They are abandoning base B in favor of staying alive. Eli, I have no idea. The Chieftain staying where he is. Bits of HP being lost both sides. But basically Barbie is in a little bit of trouble. He's getting focus fired very, very badly. And he's almost gone. There he goes. And they're not even trying to cap the base. They are now going for Yik. Yik all alone. Getting tracked now even. He's not going to make it out alive. He wants to get another shot in, but he doesn't. He dies first. KB almost gone. And the group here is going on against Vaklai. Focus firing together. Not very concerned. They're just taking them out one by one. Vaklai is still alive, but barely. And there he goes. And now we have a 268 going up against 2 Foshes. That is not going to go look well for the 268. There he goes. And now it's 5 versus 3. And we have the E50M and the Chieftain going up against the T22s. Which they could potentially get away with. But their STB is in a lot of trouble facing off against the Fosh. And basically they're playing cat and mouse here. Edaus getting a nice shot in. The Fosh arriving. Going to take a massive hit into the Chieftain there. STB running away, Edaus following the T22. But being careful not to go into the line of fire too much. Eli in trouble. And there he goes. And now it's only Edaus that is left. Fosh taking a bit of a hit. Going up, wanting to get that shot. He does get the kill. But the Fosh blocks his path. And there he goes. And I think maybe if the Force hadn't died there, he might have lived a little bit longer. But he did not. And that was an interesting match. That was a very aggressive gameplay by Sexy Bonbons, and it worked quite well. I love just the pack move. Just go in together, don't care who gets shot, don't care who dies, you just move, you shoot the same target, and you're done. That is very lovely, Leon. And now it's 1-0. And I think now we're starting to get maps again. Because this seems to be what they do. You got a random map. And after that they start picking maps. So let's see. Don't quite remember what animal I gave Shaka at the time. I do have it listed somewhere, but my memory is really bad these days. So we are going to Castilla, my least favorite map, and we see that Argo is taking E50M, a Chieftain MK6, 2 SCBs in E4 and IS4, and a Batchat versus two Batchats, a Foch, a Grill 140 and STB in E5. This is, aside from the Foch, it seems to be a new meta-free lineup, and that is very interesting. Let's see what they do with it. I actually like that. I'm actually going to, like I told you before, actually wanted to organize a little bit of a tournament. Just a weird one with handicaps and stuff. And I think that would be fun. But then you would get also things like you can't take this or you can't take that. Timo heading up the Citadel, Vaclay as well. Oh, poor ego. That will have left a giant dent in his ego, I think. Pun intended. E5 moving over as well. E5 still looks so much better when it still had that cupola, in my opinion. Vaclay taking a big hit there. Jan wanting to see if anyone is there, and there is. Timo taking a little bit of a hit there. He needs to be careful. We heard a big hit, but it did not do any damage. Basically, they're hoping for a crossfire. But at this stage, the Batchats have to be careful. Sexy Bonbons taking quite a bit too much damage there. Tanks crossing over. No base has been capped yet. No base is being really contended yet. Because basically they're contending each other rather than Barbie getting spotted and immediately pulling back. So let's see. Nice big hit into Eli. Also, my general apologies for any names that I pronounce wrong. I know I'm very likely to. Batchat had got spotted and is moving away. Ooh, Ego. Ego, you have to be careful there. You're losing too much HP. So let's see now. Shaka losing a big chunk of HP there. And they know the Foch has to be there somewhere. Base C now being kept uncontested because the Batchats had to leave. And he's now moving back. But he can't decap it in time. Yikdats gets spotted. But it's to no avail. They have the base. KB has to be careful. Nootwiskle gets spotted, loses some HP. The thing is that Batchats are so juicy, and that makes them very nice and mobile, but it also makes them very dangerously not armored. Still not much happening here. Jan and Barbie still facing off, doing no damage. But now Argo has a base, and that means that they have the luxury of just waiting it out. They don't need to take any chances. Son of God is moving in. Let's see what he does. I think he wants to go after Shaka, who is already out of sight now. They are pushing. And they are getting spotted while pushing. Oof, Son of God taking a big hit there. General moving in, Force landing a massive hit on the E4. Batchet moving in. And if he does get another shot in, but he does lose his life for it. And now the Sexy Bonbons have made a move, but they still don't have a base. Oh, Timo is almost gone. Eli not looking too healthy. Timo dropping down to try and save himself. STB, I don't think they know that there's no support. Basically, there's action happening all around. I can't show you everything. Edows have lost a lot of HP. And basically, they just need to survive long enough. They need to be careful. Edows not looking healthy. Barbie losing more and more HP. Shaka almost gone. Yik moving in. But KB is already gone. And there goes Edows. Barbie not looking too healthy. Moving back. There goes Shaka after all. That is not a tank that you want to go ahead against. HP wise, there's about 1k of difference. There goes Barbie. Jan moving down. Wanting to take out the chieftain, but he doesn't because he's already dead. Jan moving in. Oof, almost got away, but not quite. And now only Yik is left. They do have a base, but not for long anymore. Yik still alive, but not for long. He is wanting to get out of there, but he tracked himself going down. And we see a grill reloading. But it is Jan that takes him out. And this was again a very, very slow game. It built up very, very slowly. But well played by the Sexy Bonbons. This is something I'm gonna enjoy just saying, Sexy Bonbons, because, well, the name Sexy Bonbons. So now it's 2-0 for the Sexy Bonbons. No pressure just yet. I'm going to assume that this is a best of 7 as well, rather than the best of 9. But that means that Sexy Bonbons have to win 2 more matches in order to take home the match then. Lines are probably changing. We see an FV405 appearing on the other side. And the first spaghetti. And the second spaghetti as well. But we have the second match on Castilla, just the other side now. And we see that the Sexy Bonbons have taken 2 spaghettis, an STB, a T22, a F405, and an E5. I quite like this, to be fair. Like I said, just lineups that are different from lots of T22s, lots of 205Bs, and lots of Forces. It's a lot more even now. And they're going to go up against 1 Force, 2 STBs, a 405 and IS4, potentially an E5 and potentially E50. And there we go. Everyone is ready. Except for the spaghetti that I'm ready. Hello, Lopani. And everyone else again. I I feel guilty when I say hi to someone when I see them arrive and I'm like, hey! And then just, yeah, because I can't really greet everyone individually. Here we go, third match of this matchup. Let's see what happens. This, of course, I think it's called the shitborn, isn't it? You can't say that on the official Discord, mind. Because you can't say that word, but it is a fun tank. It's actually the line that I'm grinding right now. It's like he's showing off a little bit. But let's go have a look to see what's happening. General moving to the back. We see lots of ammos being switched around, I think. Sort of like rock music. No bases being contested yet. General taking a little bit of damage there. The position that he's in can be very good to decamp A, but it's a tricky position to be in. Because basically it means you're stuck there generally. Noob with skill arriving at base A. He has been spotted, so he is taking a little bit more. Oh, he does take damage for that one. But now you know that he can cross relatively safely. He does take another shot going up though. There's a lot of HP to miss that early in the game. Team Ivan lost a little bit of HP. Basically they're holding together. Son of God next to Timo. But not all that much is happening. We have Shaka overlooking the situation, shooting at Timo. And basically Vaclav is doing some spotting. But if he were to look the other way, he would spot something else altogether. This is the thing, you only spot in the direction that your turret is pointing. So with him not looking at the shitbarn, he does not see the shitbarn. Well, if he actually took the time to spot around, he would. General taking a very different position now. Vaclav still looking in that direction. This is why it's important to look around and not in the... Oof! Big hit into Shaka there. Why it's important to look around and not just in one direction. Because the SCB is one of the best view ranges of the whole game. And he would have been spotted so much earlier than Nugget if he had been looking the other way. So let's see what's going to happen now. Shaka lost quite a bit. He's in a safer position now. Neither team has a base. Son of God might go and change it. No, he's actually heading back towards the spawn. Jan in the E5 behind the rocks at the back. Can't really do anything except for lose a bit of health apparently. Which was a Foch HE shot, I think. Which is another Foch HE shot. And we now see the spaghettis moving in. Crossing over, but losing quite a bit of HP doing that. That was a very aggressive and potentially not a very smart move, because now the Ice 4 will lose HP, but they lost the tank. And the Foch misses, but takes a big hit in turn, and another one. And now, with this standing like this, then Argo will take it home. But they have to survive. Oof, Barbie is still alive by sheer miracle, but there he goes because he actually showed the side of his turret. And now the scores are equal again. Edao's in a position that you don't want to be in. Oof, there goes Son of God. And now they have the advantageous position again. Shaka wanting to spot. Shots happening. Vaclav, no base has been capped still. We only have 2 minutes left. KB dropping down. Honestly, love the spaghetti. But they are pretty juicy to shoot at. And the STB and Yik are playing quite carefully. Base B now being, well, not taken, they're rushing through it. They want to take it. But they're losing tons and tons of HP, look at that. General almost gone, KB losing more and more HP. Ilya losing HP, but he's pulling back now. He just doesn't want to drop down. KB almost gone. The ship one not being able to cap the base, even though Idao is losing HP for it. That base is not going to be capped, and Noga is actually taken out by Shaka. Idao in a potentially difficult position. Oh, and there goes Timo, and General is still alive. But barely, he's not going to stay alive much longer. KB has been taken out, Jan has been taken out. Only General survives. And he only has the building to contend with a very little bit of HP. And it's Idao that takes him out. Very, very patient gameplay by both sides, but then almost double the damage. Well, not quite, but almost double the damage by Argo. And Sexy Bonbons, when they moved in, Argo just capitalized on that and just knocked them out one by one. Brilliant gameplay. Hey Brian! So for 3 matches down, potentially 4 to go, or 6 to go, depending on. But should be 7, best of 7 then, because that's what they did with the last matchup. So we are already up. We are moving to the next map. I'm not sure what that is yet. The thing is that what I noticed that a lot of tanks being chosen this night are tanks that can be completely brilliant in randoms. Hugs and kisses to you too, hun. Don't drink and drive though. But that's why it's good that you took a taxi. So we are moving to Canal. We actually have the same maps. So we had one on the map, then we got Castilla, and now we got Canal. So let's see what they are going to take for that. And we see the Sexy Bonbons that are taking 1 spaghetti, 2 spaghetti, 2 222 mediums, 1 Force, an F405, and an AMX3. We don't see that very often. And on the other side, tanks are still being ready to being chosen. And we see a 263 appearing. We have not seen that one yet tonight, but the YOLO wagon is a very nice tank, and it's not called the YOLO wagon for nothing. You can YOLO with this thing effectively. And that's one of the things that I like, again, about the lineup that Argo is taking. They're not standard, they're not new meta. I like that. So let's see what they're going to do with that. So far we see a 113, a Gorilla 268 and another 113. Potentially 2 Ice 4s and a Bat Chat. So let's see, here we go. It's an E4 instead of an Ice 4. Very Argo using very different tanks, different than what you'd expect. I really like that. So let's see what they do with this. And of course the Spaghetti's epic tanks, absolutely lovely tanks. Well, we start off by looking at that AMX-30B. It can work wonders, but it has a cupola, which can be a massive weakness. So let's see what's going to happen here as the Sexy Bonbons head towards base D. And yes, again, that's going to remain a thing. AMX30B taking a very aggressive route, not going for base D at all, looks like. He's going to make a very aggressive spotting near base B. Let's see. Base D is being... This is actually brilliant. Because now the Ice 4 is looking at him. Oh, that was a expensive hit. But now the Gorilla has been spotted. He can't stay there. Or at least he can try, but he's likely to lose HP very quickly then. Shaka also have been spotted. And KB just dropping back in a position where the tanks on the hill camping can shoot him. He's basically between a rock and a hard place. He can't really go anywhere, he can't really do anything. Grow in a very difficult position. And we now see the Spaghetti and the T-22 moving in. Bouncing a little bit. The other T... Oh, that is a massive, massive hit by the Grill. And the T-22s. They're leaving Shaka behind. They're going to take out that Grill. This is just plain bullying, guys. There goes the Grill. The other Spaghetti arriving. They want to take Shaka. I'm not sure if you can shoot him from there. KB is finally gone. But there he goes, General finishing it off. And now we have Argo in the middle. Going after Nugger in the Fosh. And General in the crossfire. So let's see. Now they're just basically hiding. At this stage, they don't really need to do anything to win this. And Argo will have to make the move. General moving back. Nugger protecting base C. Taking a shot. But paying for it a little bit as well. Basically, they just need to play defensively. They don't need to take a base, they don't need to do anything. They just need to stay alive and not take any risk like Nugger. Son of God in a very lightly armored tank, peeking out quite far. And we are at 800 points. They have 100 points advantage. That means that they have to kill 3 tanks in order to take it home. And the sexy bonbons just have to live. And it looks like Argo is now pushing in, but it might be too late. They're losing a lot of HP crossing over as they are. Noob with skill and a 113. Oh! That hit though! That was massive! He pays for it with his life. And Ego now has to be careful not to die as well. But they are already at 900 something points. And Ego is going down, literally, to save his own life. And we are at 1k points. And the sexy bonbons took home this battle. I cannot play in a platoon when I'm streaming a tournament, I'm sorry. Not that much damage being done. But that shot by the E4, that was brutal. So now it is 4-1 for the sexy bonbons. And for best of 7, that would mean that they only have to win 1 more to go to the grand finals tomorrow. By the way, Karol Januszek, sorry, I'm probably butchering your name. Yes, I will be streaming tomorrow as well. I have the link on my channel. It's also on my Discord. And I'm looking forward to it. These are good teams. The gameplay is quite passive, but it's more like patient. And I think that so far, it has been interesting. I love the different lineups. This is very different from what I've seen in Twister, and I quite like it. So let's see. We have Sexy Bonbons almost ready now with an AMX30B, 2 T22 mediums, an FV405, 2 spaghettis and another AMX30B. That's a very interesting lineup indeed. The 30Bs, they can be so nice in randoms. It is a very lovely tank to drive. Basically all these tanks are very lovely tanks to drive. But they're not quite tournament tanks, but apparently they are working. The spaghettis, of course, we've seen a lot along with the T22s. Basically, the finals of the Twister Cup of the offline event were won by spaghettis. This is the Czech and Slovakian Championship. To answer your question, you'll see this, you'll hear this in 5 minutes. Argo still discussing the lineup. And we see a 113, a Chieftain MK6, a Foch 215B, 2 Eyes, Focus, and potentially a Spaghetti. And everyone is ready now. Here we go. For the second match on Canal. Gorgeous camo, this looks really cool. So let's see what's going to happen. The Mets heading towards base D. Argo not gonna. They're going for B and potentially for A or potentially for an aggressive. Oof. Ego not in a good position there. Getting some shots in. But getting massively focused fire. Ego is not going to survive this one. If he does, it will be nothing short of a miracle. And it's actually Barbie that gets taken out. And Ego is still alive. How are you still alive, Ego? Noob losing a lot of HP as well. Vaklov taking some damage. Very aggressive gameplays by Shaka team. And Ego still alive. That is a miracle. So let's see. Base D has been kept. Nice little bounce there by KB. And basically Argo is caught out in the open. They are not in good positions. They are in tricky positions. The FV in a cheeky position there. He does take damage for it. He needs to be more careful. He is reloading. He does not want to be there anymore. There goes Eli. And Ego is still alive. Ego, how are you still alive? Nugget taking a big hit there, crossing over, but in safety now. And again, Sexy Bonbons don't need to take any chance, but they generally are. They just need to play carefully. They just want to take out more. They're greedy, very, very greedy. Let's see what happens here. We have Edaus that is shooting the spaghetti, but potentially overextending, trying to do so. Oof, Nugger almost gone. Nugger, you need to be more careful. Ooh, Nugger is having a Foch to contend with. That is not going to go well for Nugger. He's not even getting that last shot in. But now with the Foch there, you see the T22 making a move. The spaghetti going along with it. They need to get out of there. Timo is not going to survive this. Ooh, he actually takes the massive shot into the spaghetti. And Timo is out. There goes Edaus. There goes Jan. It is 4 versus 3, but HP wise, it's actually the 3 guns that have the advantage. Or that had the advantage, I should say. AMX moving in, bouncing. Son of God, barely alive. Ego finally dead. Amazing that he lived as long as he did. Oh, KB just got deleted, like absolutely deleted. And now it is 1 versus 2 in a game that had the Sexy Bonbons played a bit more basically not just carefully. They didn't even need to play it passively. They just need to play it carefully. And they are losing because of their own aggressiveness. And that is... There we go. Shaka takes home this game. This just... Wow! Sexy Bonbons, you gave this game away. There was absolutely no reason yet to lose this one. But you were too greedy for damage, too wanting to take home those kills, that damage. And you gave it away. That is just wow. But at least it means that we'll get at least another match. Argo with the interesting lineups. Let's see. I think we're going to move to a different map now, I believe. We should. I think we're going to Winter Malinovka. If I remember right. But that game, though. To be fair, I see people talking about knowing what was going to happen, knowing where the 263 would be, and knowing the tactics. I don't, and that makes it so much more fun for me to commentate on, because basically every reaction you hear from me is genuine, because I've no idea what's going to happen, no idea where they're going to go. And I like that. So let's see. Different things have to happen now. Map has to be changed. Lineups have to be changed. Let's see. We've had 5 matches, so we got 1 or 2 more, depending on who wins the next one. And now we have... There we... Ooh, Normandy. That's a different map. But I love it. Normandy, one of my favorite maps, because it's one of the bigger maps. And that just makes that stuff is not that predictable. Because more can happen. And here we go. Tanks are being changed. And to think that Sexy Bonbons could have secured their place last match. They literally just gave it away. Now the forces have readied up, but we need quite a few more tanks in the game. So let's see. We just have to wait. Oh, we see a Leo 1 appearing. So on Argo's side, we see an E50M, a Foch, a 215B, an E5, another Foch, or maybe not, and an IS4, and potentially an E3, an IS4, no. E50M, a Foch, one STB, sorry, I can't brain anymore. E50M, Foch, STB, 215B, 2 IS4s, and E5, versus 2 215Bs, a Foch, 2 Foches, actually 2 Leos, and a 121. We have not seen the 121 at all. Let's see what's going to happen now. We see one of the Leos heading towards the middle. KB moving to join General. The plane crashing. We have the 121 at the back. Ego overlooking. Someone bouncing on a Leo. I don't know how you do that. The Leo is moving away. Base C and D being capped. C being capped quicker so That means that the sexy bonbons will have a slight advantage. And there we go. Base B not being kept yet, 8 hours. They are fearful of the force that might be there, and it is there, so they are right to be fearful. And the Leo's moving around the back, heading towards the rest of the team. Let's see. Argo safely trying to spot. Both teams. Well, basically there's a half K HP difference between the sexy bonbons and Argo. But overall nothing to be afraid of. We see Shaka wanting to get into base A, but fearful, not wanting to get spotted. And he does get spotted. He knows that there's someone there, but he could potentially still cap. He just needs to cap this very carefully. And he does take a hit. And so they decide not to cap. Are they going to try to cap again with base B though? Basically all the bases except for C and D are quite open. And you don't want to give up too much health. A little bit of damage being done, not too much though. Ego at the back wanted to get a shot in as well. Shaka overextending, taking damage where he doesn't need to. Sexy bonbons content to hold. They have a slight point advantage. Let's see what's happening. Not much. 8 hours moving in. Now capping base A. Seeing if he can get away with it. And they are shooting at Ego. Ego has been spotted. So they give up base A again. The thing is, they need the points. Ooh, and he misses, and that could be very crucial. If the E50M manages to cap it now. Meantime, Yich is losing HP. And they are getting base A. Clever cookies. But now we see the sexy bonbons pushing together, knowing that the Argo team is divided. Big hits happening, big hits following. The forces are rearing to shoot. And Noob with skill is going to be the first one out. And there he goes. Yik almost gone as well. This is the downside of trying to get that base A with multiple tanks. Because now one force is gone. But the guns are disappearing fast on Argo's side. And this looks like it will be... Oof. There goes Jan. But we have 2 and 5 beats. There's a force arriving though. And he is trying to save his teammate. And so far succeeding. It is 4 versus 3. But Ego is still very, very healthy. And Barbie is not. And neither is Vaclav. And there he goes. Vaclav almost gone as well. The force going after Leo, wanting to take out the one shot, but he's losing quite a lot of HP for doing it. And there goes Vaclav. And there goes Eli. And Sexy Bonbons takes it home. Dora just said that I like generally sneaky moves, wink wink. But those were fun matches. Sexy Bonbons taking home one match later than they should, because the last match they should have had it. And we see the teams disappearing. And that means that this is the end for tonight. Tomorrow in the finals we will have... Let me just... Ooh, wrong site. Let me just check this site. If they see if they updated it yet. We will have Ready to Win versus the Sexy Bonbons as the grand finals. But before that we will see the Czech Predators versus Argo for the 3rd place. So that is what we will be seeing tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I was expecting a best of 9 both times, but it was fun. I like Argo for not going with the standard tanks, especially these last matches. They were fun and a lot more unpredictable because the tanks were a lot more diverse, and thus I know them a little bit less and can predict a little bit less where they go. Very nicely played, both teams. And like I said, I'll be back tomorrow evening, same time, same place. Well, different link. And we will see you then. Thank you all for watching. Thanks to the Czech and Slovakian community for organizing this. Like I said, I hope we see more kind of tournaments like this appearing in bits and pieces everywhere, because it's fun. Even though I prefer tournaments that include everyone, the pro of having a national tournament like this is that you see teams that you generally wouldn't see much, and they deserve a spotlight as well. So that is it for tonight. Like I said, thank you all for watching, and I'll be back tomorrow. Have a good night, or as they say in Czech, which is about the only sentence in Czech that I know, dobry noche.